A wildfire in Nebraska exploded so fast, evacuations were ordered before most people even knew the fire had a name. This is the South Fork Fire, burning in Dawes County, in northwestern Nebraska, and in less than 48 hours, this fire reportedly grew past 23,000 acres. That is not a small grass fire. That is a major wildfire emergency. And what makes this story so surprising is where it happened. Because when most people hear wildfire, they think of California, Arizona, Colorado, or the mountains out west. But this time, the fire is in Nebraska, near Crawford, near Fort Robinson State Park, across dry plains, rough terrain, and drought-stressed vegetation. The fire spread fast, evacuations were ordered, smoke filled the sky, and firefighters were forced into a dangerous battle against the weather itself. Because this was not just about flames, it was about the setup. Temperatures climbed close to 95 degrees. Humidity dropped to around 14%. Vegetation was extremely dry, the terrain was difficult, and wind gusts reportedly reached up to 72 miles per hour. That is the kind of wind that can turn a fire into a moving wall. A small spark can become a fast-running grass fire. A fire line can jump, smoke can shift, roads can become dangerous, and crews can lose ground quickly. This is why wildfires in the plains can be so dangerous. There may not be thick forests everywhere. There may not be mountain towns in every direction, but there is grass, there is brush, there is open land. And when the wind takes over, fire can move faster than people expect. The South Fork Fire reportedly burned more than 23,000 acres and was only around 5% contained. That means firefighters were still working to gain control, while the fire had already carved across a massive area. Evacuations near Fort Robinson State Park and Crawford showed just how serious the threat became. People had to leave before conditions got worse. Fire crews had to work through heat, wind, smoke, and rough access, and every hour mattered. This is the part of wildfire stories people often miss. It is not always one giant flame front on a mountain. Sometimes it is open country, a dry wind, a hot afternoon, a rural road covered in smoke, and a fire that keeps moving before anyone can slow it down. Nebraska is not the first place many people think of for a massive wildfire, but this fire is a reminder that wildfire danger is not limited to the West Coast. When drought, heat, dry vegetation, and extreme wind come together, the plains can burn fast, very fast, and that is exactly what happened here. The South Fork Fire became a major Nebraska wildfire in less than 2 days. More than 23,000 acres burned. Evacuations were ordered, containment stayed low, and firefighters continued fighting through brutal conditions. This is not just a fire story, it is a warning about how quickly the landscape can change. One day it is dry grassland, the next day it is smoke, evacuations, and fire crews racing the wind. Follow StormScapes for wildfire updates, severe weather coverage, earthquake news, volcano monitoring, and real-time disaster tracking. Because sometimes the biggest emergencies are not where people expect them, and sometimes the fire nobody was watching becomes the one everyone needs to know about.